want to support the platform just in case anything like this happens again, you can do it by way of PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, and also by the Anchor. And you can also further support the platform by way of going to the Teespring store or the shoe store that is located in the comment section below. At least 18,000 cows were killed in an explosion and fire at a West Texas dairy farm Monday evening, possibly the most cattle killed in a single incident ever in the United States. One farmer worker at the South Fork Dairy Farm near Dimmitt, Texas, was rescued from a structure and taken to a local area hospital. The worker was in critical but stable condition. As of report, nobody else was injured. The fire in Castro County spread quickly through holding pens where the cows were trapped. Most of them, a mix of Holstein and Jersey cows, were waiting to be milked. The 18,000 cows were killed were about 90% of the dairy farm's total herd. The cows were valued at about 2,000 apiece. The total financial loss could reach tens of millions of dollars, not including destruction of equipment and buildings. Based on the size of the average adult cow, 18,000 cattle standing 3 to 4 feet apart could cover 26 football fields. They also stated that G. Feller stated that the manufacturing equipment may have caused the explosion. Texas fire officials are still investigating. State and dairy officials were planning on how to dispose of the 18,000 carcasses. A bit more information. The incident marked the nation's deadliest fire for cows since at least 2013. Texas is the nation's fourth largest milk producer behind Idaho, Wisconsin, and California. This is according to the United States Department of Agriculture. The Lone Star State pumps out more than 7 million tons of milk per year. The surviving cows were also moved to a different facility on the South Fork farm, but local sheriff also stated that some of those cattle also suffered as well. Also, about 6.5 million animals have died in barn fires since 2013, of which 7,385 were cows. Chickens have also suffered the most with 6 million deaths. The advocacy group also Tally, which began a decade ago, also reported that the Institute noted several instances of which 100,000 to 400,000 chickens were killed in a single fire. Cattle deaths from the South Fork fire far surpassed the cow facilities 2 years ago when an upstate New York farm fire claimed the lives of 400. That fire tore through two buildings at the Boobins farm in Beekmantown, New York, causing over $3 million in damages. It took 19 fire departments, including one from Vermont and three from Canada, to contain that fire. All right, so it took me a little bit to actually bring this video to you guys because I had to go right back into the archives and get some of the information that I brought to you guys, I want to say about a year or two ago, almost like roughly during the pandemic, during the midst of the pandemic. All of the information that you see directly in front of you, I covered all of this in one video. Literally read off all of the areas around the United States that were seemingly being, targeted, disrupted, or hit, um, and that caused disruptions when it came to, let's say, eggs, right? And how that was going up during a certain point in time. You had quite a lot of chickens during the time. Like if you can happen to look at the left side of the screen, 310 2022, you had 663,400 chickens were destroyed at a egg farm, right? And then as you keep going directly up, you'll see it happen in Missouri, Maryland, Delaware. Sorry, I said Delaware, Maryland, and I think we might have a few more in different areas. But Irregardless, the main point is this is something that they have been doing for a very long time in order to disrupt and in order to bring up the prices of certain things. So again, you have chickens up here, you have turkeys, you have, I think even at one instance, you might have had a factory that produced almond or oat products. You had cows, again, just like the story that you were just able to hear. So that puts a disruption on the beef, output along with the milk, which also brings up the prices and everything of that nature. So, like I said before, these are targeted events that are specifically taking place in order to have more control over certain things that are taking place as well. Even during the time of the pandemic, you had people who worked on farms talking about how, mysteriously things were happening to the cattle or the livestock. Some of them were not able to reproduced, and that was by way of the fact of the feed, or something that was in the feed that they were naturally giving them. And once they got them off of that feed, they were able to reproduce yet again. Other farmers were stating how it is that the prices, they started to notice the price of feed and different things of that nature were starting to go up, and they were giving warnings to everybody else, us directly out there, letting us know that, hey, if the feed and stuff is going up, then that's going to get passed on to the customer, right, at the end of the day. So if the fee goes up, then that means the price for, let's say, the milk or the beef or whatever it is also going to slightly go up so that they can, make their money instead of being directly in a negative. But again, all of the things that are transpiring are planned, and it's happening by way um, of the government. They're just playing a long game when it comes to this. So remember, some of these things happened in 2022. There were also other things that happened in 2021 as well, and I had covered those in a whole nother video with some of the um, different types of farms or factories that were supposedly producing certain things, and things happen to those as well. But like I said before, just pay attention, look at a lot of the things that are taking place. And remember, if they're putting things directly in front of you and they're blaring and they're blasting and they're putting neon lights and all of these things around one topic, that means that there's a lot of other things that they are specifically not telling you about or talking about. Because remember, in this picture here, you have about close to 99 different factories and or farms. Livestocks and everything like that, that were either killed, they were burned, it was, disrupted, injured, what have you. And again, you never, for me, I never heard mainstream media specifically go over each and every one of these, informing everyday people that this was going on during the pandemic. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this story and everything that I tried to inform you guys about in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.